Good morning. Good morning from the future. Hello, everybody. This is Gray from Wakazashi's Tea House over in Japan. It's Sunday morning, 7 a.m. I'm here with my good Boston Irish buddy, Eric, the Reverend Sully O'Sullivan. How you doing, Eric?
Wicked Jessa. Getting better by the minute there, Chief. This is how
gracious.
You pour a Guinness from a nitro can. This is true. I have a method, and it's St. Patrick's Day weekend here in Boston, Massachusetts. It's a big celebrations here, and then Dublin, and in Montreal, Manhattan, and Chicago. Those are like the big places that celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Sounds good to me. I was just checking the audio.
Hello.
This is why Eric's all in green, or maybe it's just because he likes the colour.
And yes, I'm wearing the green, and this is my new hat. I made this myself.
Make America grateful again. That's good advice, Eric. I like it.
You know, and some lady walked up to me on the train, and she asked me. She was like, "That's an interesting hat you have," and I was like, "Thank you." And she was like, "Is this a MAGA thing?" And Make America Great. MAGA Republicans. And I was like,
"Yeah,
no." And she just smiled at me, and I was just like, "Uh huh."
Really?
But that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to promote conversation and provoke understanding. That's true.
Oh, you're making me jealous as usual with that lovely looking pint of Guinness.
You can drink Guinness for breakfast. Come on.
I've got my coffee in my little Hello Kitty cup again. Kitty-chan.
What's her name in Japanese?
They just call her Kitty-chan.
Really?
Yeah, Kitty-chan. Chan is like it's
like a sweetie.
Yeah. It's what we usually say to children, like
Hime-chan, like my sweet little princess.
Great-chan. It sounds a bit weird though.
Goku, Gohan-kun. I know that from Dragon Ball.
Hey, we've got Foom on it in the chat, Eric. There we go. A member for 17 months, mate. Thank you so much for your support. That is amazing.
Thank
the
you.
Crossover the world didn't know we needed. Sully and Gray.
The universes have crossed over before. This is our second episode of For the Love of.
Yeah, I'm trying to make these more regular, so that's why it's hopefully, if Eric can, fit it in his busy schedule. Hopefully doing it monthly. And we're trying to bring a bit of positivity because there's too much negativity in comics these days. Well, not just comics, everywhere, Eric.
Everywhere. But in comics. I mean, geez, my Dwayne Muth. Hey, buddy, good to see you.
Hey, Dwayne.
And I mean,
good morning.
If you're tuned into the crowdfunding spheres, oh my goodness, it is a toxic wasteland full of burnt bridges and hurt feelings. What? Oh my!
Full of scum and villainy.
Is fighting that one, and that one is fighting this one, and they all have problems with each other.
Great to see you.
And you know what? Fuck it. Sorry. Do we have a swear rule on this? Do I have to put 2 pounds in the swear jar?
No, you have to take a very careful and sexy sip of Guinness.
Okay, I'm gonna keep my pinky out.
So anyway, we're all over the place. We're all over the place as usual. I'm all over the place. Eric, believe it or not, over here in Japan, we do have a kind of celebration for St. Patrick's Day because there is quite a big Irish connection, especially where I live. There's a historical figure you probably never heard of called Lafcadio Hearn, who's kind of Greek, English, Irish. He moved over here. He married a Japanese woman, and he wrote a book of collected Japanese ghost stories called Kwaidan. There we go.
Hello.
So yeah, he lived in the next town to me, a place called Matsue City. So yeah, they have a big Matsue.
He was a baseball player.
Yes, that's right. It's actually spelled differently, but similar word.
Indeed.
Jacob Ironside. How are you, sir?
Everyone.
Good to see you. So yeah, they usually have a St. Paddy's Day parade, which will probably be today. It's Sunday now in Japan, so yeah. I'll be thinking of you if I go, but it's freezing cold, it's raining, it's horrible weather.
That's why we drink on St. Paddy's Day, so you don't feel it as much.
Would that stop you attending the parade if it was like wicked pisser weather?
My God, let me tell you something about the South Boston Day St. Paddy's Day parade there, Chief. I grew up in South Boston, 0212F and 7, and that's where we have Irish pride, but it hasn't been like that in like 30 years because we got wicked gentrified, and then all the yuppies moved in, and But they still have the same St. Patty's Day parade. I've walked in 3 of them from like 8 to 18.
Oh wow!
And it's just basically flatbed trucks, politicians waving from cars and stuff, and like the Boston police Irish bagpipers with their kilts and occasionally now they get the 501st. There's a 501st Legion that shows up, and it shows up like stormtroopers and clone troopers. That's pretty.
Oh
fun.
really?
Yeah, and. Oh boy! And they had like the big news like about like 15 years ago. They were like the Catholic gay people want to be in the parade. They're like, oh, we won't be having any of that. There, you pride people. There, it's a sin against God, and abomination as it said here in the Bible. And in the Bible, it's an abomination for man to lie with man.
And what happened? Did it get overruled very quickly?
Yeah, I got everyone gets along. It's literally 750,000 people show up for this Boston St. Patrick's Day parade.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that sounds big. Big, bad, mad, bad, and dangerous to know.
Yeah, and also I feel like there's a built-in metaphor for fandom in there. Okay, if you take like Star Wars or Spider-Man and treat that like our city, okay, our little town. And then you have all of these people, all these tourists, all these normies that show up like once a year, and they just trash the whole place. There are broken fences. There are broken beer bottles everywhere. There's people. Somebody pooped on my porch, something like that. And
Eric, I'm just going to grab some coffee. I'll be 2 seconds.
I'll vamp. Don't worry. And then So what happens when the normies leave? When the tourists leave? Well, we got to fix our fences and we got to clean our lawns and get back to living in our space. And I feel like I got this metaphor from going to an outdoor show. I mean, have you ever been to an outdoor show, like a weekend show, and then the entire place, like the day after, is completely trashed? It's so interesting to see this, just people can't pick up after themselves for some reason, but that's.
You should get over here, mate. Come over to Japan. The streets are so clean. You won't believe it. You can eat off them. You can fry an egg off them in summer.
Zax is here.
How you doing, Zax? Good to see you. Great.
Zax, didn't I see you in homeroom this morning? he came by. He was in the chat over at Wes's. We had MVP on the show today.
Oh, cool. There's a connection there. MVP and Zax. And me, surprisingly, we go back, brother, for years, many, many years ago. We met via YouTube. One of the positive things about this, whatever it is, social media network. Jacob Ironside, I was in a St. Patrick's Day parade in a pedal-powered vehicle.
Was it a giant flower?
What's that?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so Zax and Jacob, if you're, we're going to be in Fear Monarch, and Dwayne, we're going to be meeting up, a bunch of us, from Thinking Critical at the Dallas Fan Expo this year. I got my tickets, I got my hotel, I got my plane. Max is going, Aaron's going, Dylan's going. We're trying to get Doc to go, and whoever else shows up too. So it's gonna. We might have a table. I think we have a table with HH of Sigma Comics.
Oh yeah,
and we might even have a panel. So
Eric? What are the dates, just for people?
It is Friday, May 30th, and we'll definitely all be there as a group on Saturday, June 1st. I'm flying out on Sunday morning. So is Wes, because Wes is coming over from the Philippines. Bringing his kids.
That's so cool.
The first time his kids have been to the States, and they're going to see their grandparents.
Oh, is it the first time for them? Okay, nice one.
So that's going to be cool for them, and it's just going to be a nice get together for everyone. Yeah.
Great. So you heard it here, folks. End of May. Make sure get down there and meet Sully and the gang.
Get down, make lunch. Get down, make lunch. Make love, I know, but still. It's a little clean for you kids out there.
So for this stream, the plan is really there is no plan. It's just a general chat about comics, what we've picked up over the week, things, any kind of news that's caught your eye, Eric, this week, because it's been a quiet week. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that Ultimates nonsense, but we'll
I
save that
got
for
one. I got a good one.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, look behind me here. You might see that right there. That is the Skybound G.I. Joe hardcover set.
Oh my goodness, let's make it full screen.
I backed it on Kickstarter like a year ago or more, and it was kind of pricey, but it was worth it. So Skybound has collected the entire Marvel run from issue 1 to 155, or is it 154? I think, and all the specials and the special missions. So it's all the Marvel stuff. And it's there's actually, and then there's an IDW Real American Hero that Larry Hama also wrote a bunch of too. Larry Hama has written like almost every issue of G.I. Joe or Real American Hero. Oh, thanks, Dex. Yeah, take a spin.
I know, I love it. I'm so jealous. Can't actually get them over here. Not it's that size.
Affordable. Yeah, but
anyway. So, Eric, what's the binding like? What's the because they look absolutely huge. Beautiful. Those volumes. Are they easy to read, or do you have to do you have to hire a servant to turn the pages?
Well, it was kind of cute. I mean, cute. I mean,
looks like you can work out with them.
You had two choices: blue, the G.I. Joe version, or red, the Cobra version. And I got the Cobra version. Oh. And so this is Compendium 1, and there are 4 of them all together.
It had to be Cobra, didn't it? Yes. Beautiful. Oh, it looks amazing.
And it's like original coloring, so they didn't redo the color.
Oh, that makes really a change, doesn't it? They always do that these days.
Yeah, and I'm just really, really super pleased with these. I had a mail-in subscription to G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, and for 2 years, starting at issue 15 to about issue 39, and from about 10 to 12 years old, and that was cool. But the news is that Skybound is doing it again, and this time they're going to be collecting Marvel's Transformers in the same kind of omnibus, compendium. But here's the rub, Gray, and I think you're going to like this one. They're also including Transformers UK in this.
No way.
I am psyched for that.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Fearmonic's just talking about it, waiting for them to announce the same treatment for the Transformers comics. We already got the Compendium announcement, but he wants a box too.
Yeah, I got the email for that last week, and they're but because I grew up here in Boston, and we had a Tower Records, and at Tower Records we had access to International Comics, so I got to see Marvel UK's Transformers, Marvel's Action Force, which was UK G.I. Joe.
Oh my god, I used to get that.
Yeah,
Eric, I loved it, and I remember when it actually changed from it was Battle, then it was Battle Action Force, and, then they brought in some of the G.I. Joe stories because I was like, holy shit! Who's this Storm Shadow character? I think he's amazing because I was fascinated by Ninja back then.
It just got very pretty in here.
Oh. Hey, hello. Purple, how you doing? Hi. Great to see you.
Hey, good to see you. Oh yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to. That's some good news out there.
That is good news.
Yeah, it's because the UK stories were separate of the Marvel American stories. You had 2 different continuities.
Yeah,
the Galvatron in the UK stories, where he was just off his rocker, man. I mean, it's some really fun stories. I paid attention to that.
Hey Andrew, how are you doing? Great to see you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We're early, I know, but Eric's celebrating for all of us. Happy St. Patrick's
Day. I've got me a pint of the good stuff. Sláinte to you all.
Sláinte. Kampai. There we go. Eric, go find me some Fleetway Sonic comics, says Fairmonic.
Hey,
big Sonic fan.
There's going to be a DC team up of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, and there is.
That's coming out soon, and hopefully we'll get some kids reading comics. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Imagine that.
And it came with trading cards, and it came with a pin, and all depending on what side that you're on too. See, I could have special ordered the Joe pin too, but I got I like Baroness. Who am I kidding? Okay,
I know we've kind of talked a little bit about it before, but can I ask you how highly do you rate then the Larry Hama's G.I. Joe?
It can be a good book.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about, and the continuation of it. You said it's really good now.
God, yeah? The new stuff is so much fun. I look forward to it every month. And it's the same story, and it's the same.
You've made me want to read it, Eric, and I don't really have much of a G.I. Joe background.
Oh, there's and there's an affordable soft cover omnibus that doesn't. It's not the whole thing, but it's a phone book size too. But it's still by Skybound, and it's still a collection of the Marvel stuff, and it's a reasonable, affordable, somewhat. It could be about $60 for all I know. I paid $396 for this. With add-ons. So I put on like all the trading cards, and I got an extra, patch of this and that. So they got me on a few upsells.
That's a whole month of my pay in Japan.
Ooh, oh my gosh.
we're all poor over here, by the way. Just like, No, just kidding. Okay, that's awesome. So, see, folks, positivity. Do check it out if you're not reading it. If you've got any interest, the ongoing G.I. Joe series, which is now being published by Skybound. Skybound, isn't it? Amy Skybound, yeah. Eric's been talking about this for quite a while. It's really good. It continues to be good. And I love the art in that, by the way. I can't remember the artist.
Yeah. Mooneyham and Paul Pelletier was doing it too, I think. But and these beautiful Andy Kubert covers too. I got a thing for getting the black and white line art variants because my comic book shop I can get they occasionally have the B and C covers just for shits and giggles, and I'm like, okay, give me that. I'll take that instead, please.
Excellent.
Okay. Fair Monarch is like $40 on Amazon. Like 40 issues. It's pretty crack.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty decent.
That's nice. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, cool. Cula Bula. So, do have a little bit of news, Eric. There's not much. It's been a quiet week for comic book news, but let's just share screen here. Have a look. How do we do this again?
The thingy on the thing, and then click on that thing.
Put that there. Press that here. Here we go. Let's make it bigger, ladies. Make it bigger every time.
Universe covers revealed for.
This is for June 2025, Ultimate Universe covers and stories. But this one caught my eye, the very first one. There's going to be an Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion 5-issue miniseries written by our flavour of the month, Dennis Camp, and Cody Ziegler. Art by Jonas Scharf. What do you reckon? Miles Morales caught in the middle of a universal collision. So this is the first. Is this the first kind of what do you call it? Event in the Ultimate Universe?
Well, yeah. I mean, way back in the Ultimate, the Hickman did an Ultimate one shot
when he first started. Yeah.
Maker came up to Miles and was like, "Hey, brother, I'm going home. You want to come? You want to come home?" And he's like, "No, I'll stay here."
No thanks.
And so this key that Miles is given is it's his little sister apparently finds it in his room and uses it. So Miles has to go to the 6160, this new Ultimate Universe to basically rescue his sister and bring her back home. But here's the rub: that's not Miles's original universe. That would be the 1610, and that's no longer. That doesn't exist anymore.
What?
And of all things, there should be a Miles Morales already in that universe, in this new universe. Perhaps. We'll find out. I guess we'll find out everything.
There you go. You called it. Yeah, before the Maker remade Earth 6160, he left Miles Morales the key to reach his new universe. And when Miles' baby sister Billy uses it to travel to the Ultimate Universe, it's up to Spider-Man, of course it is, to save her. But the Ultimate Universe is never safe for any Spider-Man. When the Spot attack... The Spot? What? When the Spot attacks, Miles will have to team up with an all-new Peter Parker. The Spot, I thought that was a cute dog in children's picture books. Spot the dog. No, never mind. Ultimate Black Panther 17. I'm not reading it, but I want to get your take. Are you reading Ultimate Black Panther?
Yes, I'm not buying it, but I've read every issue, and for me, it's probably Ultimate Black Panther is the best of the Ultimate books, even better than Ultimate Spider-Man on one level. Well, Ultimate Spider-Man, for me, it's like Jonathan Hickman is doing his superhero version of The Sopranos. Yeah. It has its own life, blood, heartbeat to it. Once you figure out the pacing of his storytelling, it gets a lot easier to like Ultimate Spider-Man. But Ultimate Black Panther, written by Brian Hill, art by Caselli, Stefano Caselli, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, Stefano Caselli.
It's because the writing artist battery has remained the same for the entire length of the book, and that goes a long way.
Oh, no way. That's rare these days.
Yeah, there is action in every issue. There is, court intrigue. It's
that's a great cover, by the way. I do like that.
Gosh. Yeah, and it's really entertaining. I mean, seriously, it's the most typical superhero book of the Ultimate Universe. Everything else has its own distinct flavor that they're trying to do something, such as my well-documented feelings about Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men, which is definitely its own flavor. You have Dennis Camp's Ultimates, which is definitely its own flavor. Chris Condon's Ultimate Wolverine, which plays very well with Ultimates because they're coming from the same kind of side of the aisle, if I to be nice about it. And what was that? Are there any other ones so far? No, there's no.
No, you're good.
Fantastic
I think that's
Four.
it. Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man, X-Men, of course. Okay, Ultimate Spider-Man 18. War rages on in New York City. Black Cat enlists Richard Parker's aid in the Sinister Six turf war, and Spider-Man gains a surprising ally.
Indeed.
Okay, nice to see those two swinging together, Eric. I wonder if we'll actually see it in the book, though. Or it's just on the cover.
I'm thinking this is okay. This is my guess. When Spider-Man started out, he was a 15-year-old high school student. Richard Parker is 15 and a half years old. And I think that Peter will ultimately die and be his Uncle Ben moment, and then Richard will be the Spider-Man of this universe. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, I've heard that theory. That sounds like a very possible or even probable theory.
What's up, DJ Ronnie G?
DJ Ronnie G in the house. Great to see you, mate. I hope you're good. I missed you last night. Glad you're on now.
Oh,
I think he's talking to you, Eric, because I wasn't on last night.
I hope you caught the blood moon, then the lunar eclipse and the full moon. Woof.
Here's a comment for you as well, Eric. Fairmonic. Okay. Speaking of which, Eric, I finally tried The Sopranos. I'm only on season 2, so no spoilers.
Got it. No spoilers.
You made it, mate. You got to watch the whole thing. It's fantastic.
I watch it once a year. Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Oh my God, they're going to turn Peter into a box of rice. What a fairmonic. Okay, let's get down to yours and my favourite. Oh, I totally forgot about this one, just like you, Eric. Ultimate Wolverine. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this so far? I'm not sure about it.
Exactly. I mean...
mainly because I don't know the character. It's 2 issues we've had, and I've got no idea who this character is, if that makes sense.
I think that's the whole thing. He's tabula rasa. He's a blank slate.
Oh, okay.
He's been deprogrammed. His mind has been blanked. He's now being used as the Winter Soldier for the
Ultimate Universe, for this Maker's...
Yeah, for the Rasputins. And
the Rasputins. Oh my God.
For Ilyana and Peter. And
it's weird. It's a weird series. There's some parts I like. I like the art sometimes. Sometimes I don't. It's kind of hit or miss. And some of the action scenes were very good, but not a lot has happened.
No.
I mean, it's only 2 issues, but hey.
Yeah, hey. I'm glad Chris Condon is getting, major work from the big 2, because his Enfield Gang Massacre was outstanding.
Absolutely, yeah.
But also, between his work on Green Arrow and the tone early on here in Ultimate Wolverine so far, I'm like, I can smell an activist writer a mile away now. And it's unappealing to me.
My bad smell.
My bad sense.
The smell of activism.
I smell I smell a lefty. All right, it's just as stinky as a righty. I get it. Ultimate X-Men 16.
Here we go. Here's Eric's favourite. Everyone knows Eric's favourite is Ultimate X-Men issue 16. The dawn of a new mutant cult? ? Okay, it's springtime in Hinokuni, that's Japan in the Ultimate Universe, the period for renewal and new beginnings. But what's new is not always what's better, as Hisako's dark era spreads. So it looks like Hisako is taking a turn to the dark side, Eric.
Well, maybe she's just mad as hell and she's not going to take it anymore. Armor is a really cool character. I've always liked Armor. Who invented Armor? I think it was Joss Whedon and John Cassaday back in Astonishing X-Men. I thought that Warren Ellis did, but no, he just played with her very well in his Astonishing X-Men. It was Whedon and Cassaday, I believe, are her co-creators, and she's a great character. But I mean, this is a book that I struggle to like, and I was really looking forward to this. And I still have plenty of good things to say about every issue that comes out. The art is always fabulous. Peach does her own line work, her own inking, her own coloring, and I believe she does her own lettering too.
And she hasn't missed an issue.
Right.
It's crazy, isn't it? And like you were talking about monthly schedule, the same as you were saying for Ultimate Black Panther, the same artist doing it every month.
Yeah. And I'm wondering when they're going to cycle her off of this book. So, hey, Jack.
Good morning, Jack. Jack be lucky. But Eric, while I've got you here talking about this, I heard from Jim, and it's kind of what we'd already guessed about this. Supposedly, Jim read an interview with the translator, Zach Davison, and he was talking about it, and he was saying that she's been given free reign to do what she wants. It's like she doesn't know that much about the X-Men. No surprises there. She's doing her own kind of story, and he's like not writing the whole story, but it's like the Marvel method. They kind of plot it out a little bit together, but she does most of the art. Well, she does the art. I think she's just doing that, and he's writing the English. It's like weird. So it really is its own thing, and they keep stressing that now. It's kind of its own thing. But why put it in the Ultimate Universe?
They're trying to reach a niche market. They're trying to reach. I think it would have been a great crossover with manga readers. Being like, hey, you have something, a Marvel comic with manga sensibilities to it, with a really great artist. I mean, she still nails it when it comes. I love her panels. I love her pacing. I love her horror. It is
the
so
horror's
creepy.
Great when it comes in. Yeah, I like it.
And
it's dark.
Yet I have one salient problem that just sticks out, and that's there are no heroic men in any of these books, and that just sticks in my craw. I don't like that. I don't want to be part of. I don't want to be part of the story. There's no room for boys here. I mean, I get pro-women stuff. That is also part of Peach's, I guess, flavoring. You know what I mean? That's what she brings to it is, pro-girl stuff. But it's too pro-girl. There are no good men in any of these. And I'm like 12 issues in a row. And it's like there are just zero heroic men. They're all just creeps.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I get the point. It's a fair point. I like the way that she's changing some of the female characters, like making them not as outwardly good as we first thought. They're starting to turn. There's a lot of backstabbing going on. There's a lot of mystery, but I'm not saying it's a fantastic book, Eric. I'm just saying I do enjoy it mainly for the art. I like her art. So.
And hey, Lane Kramer, good to see you.
Lane Kramer, how you doing, baby? That's some great colour shirt combining there, fellas.
Thanks. I'm wearing the green today, there, matey.
They always say like never wear stripes on live streams. I don't care. It's the dark stripes, so it's not too bad. You get that like crazy television, like old fashioned. What do you call it? TV out tuned to a dead station.
And Ultimate X-Men would probably look really good in a Tankobon format. And maybe they can get some new readers. Some new eyes and some new hands on this. And sell it as a YA thing, perhaps.
Yeah.
And good luck with it. But it's just like I was in for I put it on my pull list. I was so excited for this book.
I was so hyped, me too.
I'm like, I was really disappointed because there's no room for boys in this world.
It should have been titled something else completely, like, whether it was the Children of the Sun, made a new title, like based on Children of the Atom, something like that. It could have worked, but it wouldn't have sold as well, would it? It needed the X-Men branding.
I think that like this book could have used Ultimate Gambit, now who comes in as a bad guy and has a change of heart and ends up flying with the angels, something like that. And he's got his sex appeal, and he's got those smoldering eyes and that devil may care attitude. And I just swarthy. I love Remy LeBeau. He's a great character.
Don't see that much of him, do we, really, these days? Not in the comics, anyway.
He's actually in Gail Simone's Uncanny X-Men a lot.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? That's right, at the beginning. Yeah. Cool. Okay, nice one. That's good.
There you go, Lane Kramer.
Oh, mate, I've actually ordered one. I went for
Oh, cool.
the Jay Lee variant. It's a bit of a weird cover, but I just like Jay Lee, so it's rare to get a cover by him. Lane's saying that he read it. How did you like it? He gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
That sounds
I
about
gave it
right.
an 8, the latest issue.
I thought that the latest issue, issue 5, was the strongest issue in the story. Absolute Superman is the one absolute title that I'm picking up on, giving a chance. I almost dropped it, but this last issue was pretty strong. And
Simone Baloney. Yeah, I know. I was the same. Out of the initial 3, it was the one I was kind of like, I'm not sure about.
Let me take a chance on this. And but I mean, visually,
I think it's got better as it's gone on.
Yeah, it has. I mean, visually, like, I'm so impressed with Absolute Wonder Woman. It's got such a great style to it. Herman, what's his name? Hayden Sherman. Yeah,
he's working very hard. He's doing dark patterns as well.
Dude, you like that book?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I might be the only one.
No, it's likable. I mean, that book. I mean, the tone of Dan Waters' writing really reminds me of the Bronze Age Batman, and it has a really nice feel to it. It's got that Englehart. It's got that it's got that really Bronze Age beat to it.
Hey, welcome. Dio is in the chat, Eric.
Yeah,
great to see you.
How are you?
Everybody. Yeah. Speaking of great visuals, by the way, this is a couple of weeks old now, but I managed to get a physical copy of this, Eric. Where are we?
Oh, cool. Oh, that's a nice cover.
It's a gorgeous Tim Sale cover. This is a Long Halloween issue 5 with Bill Sienkiewicz doing the art. Oh my God.
Woo.
I mean, he's older now, of course. He's maybe not firing on all cylinders, but still amazing.
He goes from the photorealistic to the abstract in the same thing, man. Do you remember
the abstract?
Do you remember the Dune 1984, the David Lynch Dune adaptation on Marvel Comics?
I didn't have it. No, I didn't read it, unfortunately. I love that movie. As we know, we've talked about it before, haven't we?
Yeah,
I do love it.
It's completely Sienkiewicz, but it's also he's so photorealistic. But then it's just like he's got so much leeway in his own his style. Oh God,
yes,
he's so good.
Sure it will. But Tim Sale, oh my God, that cover, just gorgeous cover. Yes, very happy with that. And one more from a couple of weeks ago. I want to get your thoughts on this. Green Lantern Corps, issue 1. Yeah, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I got issue 2 right here.
You got issue 2, yeah? Nice one.
And I got there were 3 Jeremy Adams books that came out this week. We got Green Lantern Corps #2, this is great. I mean,
love that cover, by the way, Eric. Your cover there, it's so cool.
They have an acetate cover one too, where it's like you pull it up and it's like it's blank. There's no graffitiing, and
gorgeous art in this.
Yeah, but there's one really good panel because we're assuming that the last page in issue 1 has the arrival of an old hero that we know and love, Shira Hall, the Hawkwoman. But if you know your animated Justice League Unlimited, that Shira and John Stewart were an item, that they even had a baby in an alternate future.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in Justice League Beyond. He was in Batman Beyond, and you had the old Superman, and you had that little kid Green Lantern, and then you had the Warhawk character, and he was John Stewart and Shira's son. And so I'll spoil it for you. They're hiding in a closet.
Let's have a look.
And he can't even look at her. Like she's looking right at him. And he's just like looking at her helmet, like do. Coast is clear. Okay.
Oh no! Why?
It's like,
why?
Yeah. He's just like, oh God, here I am stuck in the closet with my ex-girlfriend.
That's one of those moments like, uh-oh.
Yeah, but I don't think canonically Shira and John have ever been an item, though. That's the whole part. So it's like Jeremy Adams is having a lot of fun with this, and it's fun to read his stuff.
Yes, it is.
I also got his Flash Gordon on Mad Cave Studios, which is really fun.
I haven't read this yet. Is it issue 7? It's up to now, I think. Off memory, yeah. It's been so good, and Will Conrad's art. Jim was raving about this, Eric. He's not put the DC podcast up yet, but he said it. I think spoilers, folks. I think he said he gave it a 9. Aquaman 3. Give it a 9. It's like, for Jim, a
Great.
9 is incredible. So it must be amazing. I haven't read it yet.
Hey, Warhawk, yeah.
Warhawk. Fearmont saying he was tempted by that acetate that you were talking about. And good to see Cannoli Sasquatch in the chat. Hey everybody, I just bought the Jeff Johns Green Lantern omnibuses. I'm excited to finally read those monsters.
Is it omni-buy?
Ooh.
I'm no longer omni-buy curious.
Omni-buy, omni-try, omni-quad.
Right here, I've got me Jack Kirby Fourth World Omnibus, and it's 9.6 pounds. Yeah, it's impossible to read. I can't bring it with me on the subway. I can't read it at night on my, it is just...
Imagine taking it on a long flight, from Japan to America or America to Japan. Gosh. You'd never get it in, would you? Be like, Jesus, it's too heavy.
I read it once, but it's like, and it's great. Pretty good stories, yeah.
People keep recommending to me, Eric, Jeff Johns, of course, because, as I've said quite a few times, I've never got into Green Lantern. I've never really got pulled into the character until recently, until Jeremy Adams. So people say, Gray, you've got to read the Jeff Johns run back in the day.
It's great. Yeah. You put him back on the map. I think that Judd Winnick had a great run in the early aughts when it was Kyle Rayner. And Kyle Rayner was, for a time, he was the only Green Lantern because the Green Lantern Corps got annihilated.
Right.
And so Kyle Rayner was the last Lantern.
Is that why there's a split between, people who like Hal Jordan? It's got to be Hal Jordan. No, it's got to be Kyle. It's got to be... I don't know. It depends when you were reading, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Kyle Rayner's a great Green Lantern. Oh, hey, Bandito. Good to see you, buddy.
Bandito! ¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo se llama?
¿Cómo se llama? Yeah.
That means what's your name?
I forgot to say, how are you in Spanish? I can't remember it.
¿Qué onda? ¿Qué onda, vato? ¿Qué onda, güey?
I was going to say, ça va? Oui, ça va bien. No, it's French. Sorry, Bandito. How are you doing, man? Are you good? Are you genki?
Are you genki, sir? Awesome.
Omnibus. It's a James Bond movie.
Oh, okay. When you said see, that's the problem with the Absolute thing, because Lane Kramer said they delayed Absolute Green Lantern Sinestro Corps War Edition to April. But that's really oversized, hardcover, slipcased Jeff Johns story. It is
not the Absolute Green Lantern News series by Al Ewing.
It's going to focus on everyone's favorite JoJo Mullen of a different universe.
Okay. It's great to have everybody here. How we doing? I'm coming to 40 minutes. Eric, shall we do a review? Shall we do a live review on screen? I know you're going to be talking about this with Jim later on for the podcast, the Marvel Comics podcast. Let me just bring it up if I can find it. Where are we? Eric recommended this to me. We talked about maybe doing one comic review live, and it is Nick Fury versus Fang Foom, #1. J. Michael Straczynski and Eleanor Casagrande writing it. So, Eric, first of all, why did you choose this out of all the Marvel comics to talk about?
It's consistently good. The Rocket Raccoon Doctor Doom #1 was a surprise. And I really enjoyed the hell out of it. And it had some great art. Same goes for the last issue of Captain America and Volstagg. Wow, I had so much fun reading this book. Great art, again, by Bernard Chan.
I loved your review, by the way, that you did with Jim. Do listen to that, ladies and gentlemen. It's on YouTube, as far as I know now, as well as Jim's podcast, Weird Science Comics. And
this just follows it once again. It's Nick Fury, set in 1940. So it's the Howling Commandos era of Nick Fury. Sergeant Nick Fury. It's before he's Sergeant Nick Fury, because he doesn't, he's not in the army yet. And it's really fun. And it has a couple of asterisks which place it in continuity with the old Nick Fury and his Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. I believe issue 34.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says here, just briefly, here's a synopsis. The year is 1940 and America is on the cusp of entering World War II. One of their military's greatest soldiers is Sergeant Nick Fury, leader of an elite squad known as the Howling Commandos. A shape-shifting alien who left his homeworld in search of planets to conquer centuries ago, Fing Fang Foom has been slumbering in his tomb on Earth, waiting for the right moment to strike. Nick Fury and Fing Fang Foom created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. First of all, look, this is my initial thoughts. Well, I like the story, Eric, but I thought it was very wordy. But then I remembered it is J. Michael Straczynski who's writing this.
Exactly.
And I love the way it opens in Brighton, by the way. Brighton, England, October 1940. I say, old chap.
I gotta say though, I have a weird thing with onomatopoeia, which is sound effects in a comic book. Onomatopoeia. Hey.
They love it in Japan. We talked about it before. They love onomatopoeia. They're everywhere. Doki doki, waku waku.
That's awesome. But okay, if you look at page 2 here, we've got vroom here in that first panel on page 2.
Oh yes, I see that.
Now this
Let's
kind
make it
of
bigger,
inorganic, this isn't done by hand. These are cut and paste and dropped and dragged. I think it's I don't know who does it. Is it the letterer or is it the colorist? I don't know, but it's not the artist drawing these. And sometimes when you blow it up to about 400 to 600%, like you can really the art gets pixelated.
It's gone. Oh my god!
But the onomatopoeia stays pristine and crisp.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
because they're digital assets. I mean, they're not part of the art. And so, I don't know if you had noticed this. Like even like say something like Amazing Spider-Man during the Zeb Wells run. John Romita Jr. was doing great art on that. Regardless of how you feel about the story, I feel like I'm a huge fan of Romita. So Romita Jr. is doing great art with great inks by Scott Hanna. But then you have these like really awfully kind of put sound effects that are just slapdash on top of this beautiful Romita art. And
they stand out. They really stand out, don't they? I know.
Stand out. Yeah, and it has the ability to take me out of the panel. It takes me. It kind of just pulls me out. Like I had the same problem literally with Absolute Superman #5, all of them, but especially in #5. It's just like, oh, look at that! Like just like you dropping this crap on top of Rafa Sandoville's great art. You know, so I feel like but I get made fun of by the comics aficionados boys for that. And your onomatopoeia.
And Jim as well, he loves it. We love it though. But no, it's good to be passionate about something, and I know what you mean. That makes it stand out even more when you read someone who actually does write it in, like Daniel Warren Johnson. You know, he draws it in. It's fantastic.
I mean, Nick Klein's work on Hulk. It's like it's visceral. It's wet. It's loud. And you know what I mean? It's part of the art. It's good stuff. Now these panels I think were pretty interesting because of the light source.
Yeah, me too. We've got a campfire here, haven't we? So it does cast a lot of shadows.
Exactly.
It's interesting. Elena Casagrande's art, Eric. I don't know if I'm totally sold on it, but yeah,
it's okay. You know,
so it's not bad. I'm just
saying, I mean, this is what we're asking for. We're asking for like the best writers with the best of the artists that they have, you know, and that's what we're asking for sometimes. Like, why can't we have great writers paired with the best artists and see if it sells?
There are some funny like dialogue scenes and some funny moments. We got Nick Fury here, like, you know, he's talking about it. So who's paying? Central Aircraft Manufacturing Company. Never heard of him. Not my problem. Since when are you working for a civilian corporation? Not your business. Something smells off. Whoever smelled it dealt it. It's like, okay. Look, JMS is going for it, isn't he? Yeah. I'm not even sure who this character is. Not Nick Fury, of course, but is it
He's a British liaison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe he gets killed in the annotated issue number 34. Issue number 34 was, I think it came out in 1961 and it was the origin of the Howling Commandos, how the ragtag team of misfits come together.
I don't even know the history of that book. Like, how old is
To read that book, man.
the
I
original
love-
Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos?
way before he lost his eye, you know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of a cat scratch. It was because of he lost his eye, and you know, protecting his commandos, his howlers, from a grenade. All right, there's a big difference. There's a heroic thing there, and then you got the lousy, you know, MCU.
The MCU. Let's make it a joke.
Like a fucking cat scratch. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Interesting.
Okay. Let's have a little look through. This is not really a proper review, but just have a scroll through, see what people think.
Scroll through.
Yeah. Again, the art. Some things I like about it. Some of it reminds me of the old issues of battle or action, the war comics from the UK.
Yeah, it should.
Garth Ennis loves to write.
Oh man.
But very wordy, Eric. Look at all these dialogue boxes. There's a lot of talk here. It's basically just setting up. There's some weird forces taking down the planes over a certain area. That's it. Is it between China and Japan or somewhere around there?
And they're gonna send Nick Fury to investigate and find out.
Yeah. Where are we? The Chinese border. Here we go.
And here we have Dum Dum Duggan with his
There he
bowler
is.
hat.
That's what I wanted to show in honor of St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, Monday. Where is he? Look at me. This is on. Anyway, Adobe. It's not very good. It's not easy to read. By the way, Eric, when you read your digital copies, what do you use as a reader? Do you recommend anything decent?
I just read it straight from the Dropbox, which has its own, you know.
Yeah, I think that's better, isn't it?
Right, and then there's the other one that what's it called? Let's see, it's called Cover, and that has a reader, and that's more of the DC bootlegs that I sometimes get.
Yeah. There we go. I can just go like this. Let's go down. So again, some nice art here. Some good scenery in the background.
Is great too, because our African American character here, who is one of the Howlers, remember that in World War II, the American Army was still segregated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was, and having a black pilot here. That was subversive even back then. It was especially back then in the civil rights era. You know,
Nick Fury, this is Gabriel Jones, AVG ground crew. My uncle was a crop duster, taught me how to fly any kind of biplane ever built. I can get you in, I can get you out. All you got to do is point where you want to go.
This is a pretty good. It's a pretty good, action scene too.
Yeah,
because they're flying around. He looks up and there's Fin Fang Foom.
I love the biplane. This bottom panel here on the left. It's gorgeous, gorgeous art. Yes, there's a shadow. Is that a cloud? Is that a bird? Is it a plane? Here we go. And it cuts off the double page spread as well. Here it is, readers. What a shame. Never mind. Fin Fan Foom, you have entered my domain. Prepare to die. Onomatopoeia, Eric, not looking good.
Oh.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. I am just a sassy old salt.
Nothing wrong with that. My mic's totally blocking my view. Anyway, there we go. So that'll do. Where are we? Let me get back to the stream. I can't see anything.
Oh my goodness! And I'm the one who's drinking.
Stop sharing. So yeah, it was a fun issue. It was okay, as I say, very very wordy. Lots of dialogue. Not enough action for me, but yeah, decent.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a 6 out of 10 for Grey. What would you give it?
Probably a 7. I'm trying to get better with the number out of 10.
Oh god, yeah, it took me ages to get used to that.
Yeah, because I got my own scale, and then there's a conventional scale that people, and I have to use.
What's your scale? What do you use? Or what do you like using?
I mean, it's really tough for me to get an 8 out of me. I mean, but that's like a B, And if you're using, because the number is transcribed to letter scale as well.
Okay.
So it's like
a teacher, grading papers, ABC.
So if I give something like a 7.3, that's like a C minus, and
Yeah.
that doesn't seem like a really fair description of what I'm trying to put across.
Mm.
You know, because it's hard for me to give a 9. I mean, nines are. I treat it like basically. I would treat the number scale like the comics grading scale, because 9.2, that is like, you know, that is your top dollar. You know, you got no dings, you got no corners, you got no spine roll, you got, you know, it's pristine. You know, from 9.2, you go up to between 9.2 and 9.9 to Gem 10.0, and those are just like never touched, and have, you know, so those are obscene, like, you know, high standards of like of quality for your comic book. But a 9.2, that's it. That's like that should be like off the shelf into a bag and board. There's nothing wrong with this book, and that's the, you know, that's going to keep its value and raise in value. You know, so
yeah. Good points. Okay, Eric, before we wrap things up, 10 minutes to go. Let's see. Should we talk about some new comics coming out next week? Should you have a little look at the new releases? Oh, by the way, yeah, go for it. You got something to share.
I got the facsimile edition of this week. I got the, for $4.99, Uncanny X-Men 133 with amazingly beautiful art by John Byrne, inked by Terry Austin. This is probably one of the best Wolverine comics you'll ever get.
Lashes out.
Wolverine
Brilliant.
lashes out. All the other X-Men are captive at the mercy of the Hellfire Club. They've seduced Jean Grey and brainwashed her into thinking she's the Black Queen. And Jason Wingard is, like, you know, controlling, Mastermind is controlling her. And all the X-Men are just like bound. But look at that panel of Wolverine. That's a kill. Look at that.
That's awesome.
And sometimes we look at, so if we look at like the Orcus era and we see like all the X-Men killing, like, you know, there was plenty of killing. But okay, and look at this ad. These are, so it's the Star Trek the motion picture, you know, advertisement for action figures. I love it. And
I'm trying to find the original day. I can't find the
ad.
Or Twinkies.
Hostess fruit pies.
They used to do them with the Marvel combined, didn't they? There was like always like a little mini story with a Marvel character with DC Hostess Twinkies.
DC and Marvel did that too. And the dollar bin, I got 3 old friends. I had all of these growing up. Between issue 170 and Fall of the Mutants, which was about 235-ish, for 5 straight years, every month I bought Uncanny X-Men from like the ages of 10 to 15. And
okay.
So I got this in the dollar bin. Whoa. And it's reader copies of old friends.
That's amazing.
So we got John Romita Jr. art. We got Barry Windsor Smith and Life Death. Dude, this is an amazing standalone issue. And X-Men 200. The Trial of Magneto.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is like my total wheelhouse. I'm like 12 years old when I bought this. You know what I mean? This is some seriously great comics. And look at this ad. It's Frogga on what system? You know, all of them. You know?
Oh my god! Yes.
Did you have a video game?
The Atari 5200.
Yes, it's double the power of the 2600. It's the 5200. They also had the 7800.
The 5200. I didn't even know they had. No way.
Yeah, they also had the 7800, which was even more so. My pick of the week, though, this week, it's got to be Transformers 18, man. This is an amazing book. It's so fun. There are 2 huge splash pages in this thing.
There's and I'll show you going on in that book. It was so busy. It was amazing.
It's Devastator versus Bruticus, you know, in downtown Seattle, you know, and then just at the end of it, you want to see it?
Yes, I got the last issue. I managed to get a physical copy of the last one, so I was trying to get this as well.
In the middle of Seattle, we have
I love the art in this, Eric.
Knockout, drag-out fight for supremacy of the Decepticons between Starscream and Soundwave, and all of a sudden, Starscream, Soundwave,
rip, scrack,
enough. He doesn't even raise his voice. Look at this splash page. Look at this. It's Megatron, and he's returned. Fucking Daddy's home. And
Daddy's home, baby.
And then there's Soundwave kneeling before Megatron. He's missing his arm because Optimus has it.
Kneel before Zod.
And what does Megatron do? He heals Ravage and gives Ravage back to Soundwave. the exact opposite of what Shockwave was going to do. Shockwave was going to sacrifice, Ravage, and all of Soundwave was thinking like, "Oh, my dog."
Oh, my dog.
So touching too. It was like Soundwave loves
See what
his
you did
dog.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, classic. Oh,
This
my
is
dog.
this is a great book. I mean, and the Jorge Corona art, it just fits in so well with what
I love it.
Daniel
I think it's really
Johnson
good.
was doing. And did you pick up on Mark Miller?
I've not read it yet. No, I've got it. I've got a review copy.
Wow, this stuff is good. This is really good. It lands the entire decade plus of these books, and this is a really, really. There's hints of Grant Morrison in here too, about meeting your maker, about stepping off the page or something. It's kind of like you're like, hi. The superhero meets the creators and being like, listen, you have a choice, knock it off, or we're gonna fight back.
Eric, I wasn't sure about the art in Jupiter's Legacy, this final series.
It's very digitally, yeah.
Didn't it change like partway through, the artist?
Lee Carter. I think. I think
it was Tommy Lee Edwards or somebody was on the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning.
That was a bit jarring. So
yeah, huh? And Hellhunters 4.
Hellhunters.
This is fun.
Is that the one with the young Bucky?
It was young Bucky and trying to get trophies and souvenirs.
Fearmonic saying Moon is Following Us was my book of the week. Absolutely bonkers cliffhanger.
I don't have the problems with Raleigh Rossmo that everyone else does. I kind of, Tim Drake, Robin was a bit foolish, but Rossmo for the most part is pretty.
He works better with indies, and I like his art in this series.
Give me 1 second, I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. That's cool, Fearmonic. Thanks for that, mate. For book of the week, that's a good point. I'm trying to think of mine because I've been so behind. This week. Let's have a quick look. Let's have a reminder of what came out, because I really did enjoy Absolute Superman issue 5. Here we go. Let's share screen. So from last week, well, I say last week, but you know what I mean. The big releases were Absolute Superman issue 5, very, very good. Amazing Spider-Man was awful, I thought. The art's really good because it's Ed McGuinness, but the story was just nonsense. It's just like, it left me scratching my head. I had to reread it to find out what had happened. Total turnaround for the big bad in the series for reasons which aren't clear. Anyway, Batman and Robin 19. I've heard it's a bit controversial. I've not read it yet. I've been enjoying PKJ's run on that. Void Rivals, I'm almost caught up on, and that's thanks to people like Fearmonic who've been recommending it for a while. Yeah, Void Rivals is really good. Definitely worth checking out. Scroll down. It's funny, this morning I was reading a review of Sus Gabe on his Comical Opinions website. He was reviewing Spawn 362, which I've not been reading, but he said it's the story's okay, but the art by Brett Booth is awesome.
Yes.
Big fan of his art, Eric. I don't know about you, Brett Booth.
I mean, every Spawn issue that I've read for the past couple of months, if I'm blessed to get one, they've all been really good. I mean, just Gunslinger, Scorched.
I'm still enjoying Scorched, the team book. That's
King
about
Spawn.
it. I've kind of dropped off the other books, but Brett Booth, doing that, it's tempting to go back and read it. So I pick it up again. What else have we got? Batman Dark Patterns. I haven't read it yet. Again, I'm so behind. I've had a crazy week. Geiger came out. Ooh. Aquaman 3. Yes. Helverine, Hellhunters, Redcoat. Again, I haven't read that. It's crazy. I don't even know what's happened this week, but I'm ridiculously
People are
behind.
raving about Space Ghost.
Star Wars Legacy of Vader issue 2.
Oh,
come on, Eric. I want to get your thoughts on this. Come on. I
okay,
quite enjoyed issue 1, and I know that's controversial. I thought issue 1 was quite good.
Well, it's Kylo Ren going to Tatooine, and he's literally like, it's in theme with his. He's crafting his own narrative. This is what I see as the allegory kind of thing. It's like he is giving himself permission to delete parts of his, not just his past, but Anakin's past, and to suit his narrative. And I just,
he goes hunting for a Watto, doesn't he? Watto, remember Watto?
Yeah, I mean, I had more fun with the story when I thought that Vader had Watto killed and stuffed and put in his, something
That's
like
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
You know, Nubian.
Good to see Sully here, says DJ.
Hey, in the novelizations, it's proven that Watto beat Anakin.
Oh my goodness! Really?
Yeah,
Can't be doing that.
Well,
Goodness gracious!
You know, Amazing Spider-Man 69. Did you read that, Gray?
Oh God, I was trying not to talk about it, but yeah,
come on.
I did.
I
gave it half a star out of 5.
Really?
So.
Wow, you stingy bastard, you cheeky monkey.
And that's not because the art is gorgeous. I love Ed McGuinness's art. It's really nice. I just thought the story was absolute nonsense. It did a huge turnaround in the middle of it for no reason. Just like the big bad has got no agency at all. Right. He suddenly decides to, I don't know. He's not even doing anything. He's just sat there the whole time.
Yeah, it's the son Calix, right?
Yeah.
There's so many bloody names.
He keeps talking about killing his father, Calix, but he doesn't do it. He's going on all the way through the issues. I'm going to kill my father, and then nothing happens.
And it's kind of funny. I mean, I see the irony of it because you have the unstoppable force, which is Juggernaut, and then you have Cyttorak himself, which is apparently the unmovable object, right?
Yep.
Because that's what he's the entire time he's in stasis. He's not even in stasis. He's just voluntary. He doesn't move. He doesn't talk. That's all he does is just sit there.
Yeah.
But I honestly feel 8 Deaths of Spider-Man has gone on for it's 12 issues long.
Way too long. Total filler.
It's all. This is that completely deflated the potential of this story. I thought this being the penultimate, part of the story was stronger than probably the past 6 installments of it because this is at least keeping to the point of the story. It's wrapping it up, so at least it's doing something with it.
Okay.
So and with the art, with the McGuinness art and the Mark Farmer inks, that goes a long way too. You can really get a feel for like, oh wow, this is definitely a better visual quality when you have an old-fashioned penciler and inker, I feel.
Let's have a look at what Gabe had to say about it.
What did Gabe?
He actually gives quite a fair review. So, Gabe, here we go. Weird Science Marvel Comics.
We're all weirdos.
Yes. Let's just get down to the very bottom. What's great about Amazing Spider-Man? If nothing else, Joe Kelly infuses a fair amount of emotional depth and highbrow concepts into Syra's character. She experiences love and empathy by recognizing it in others. So readers may not have expected this arc to turn into the journey of one of the Scions of Cyttorak, but it works out pretty well. Mm-hmm. What's not great? Joe Kelly's highbrow explanation about the nature of life, love, death, and existence comes off as a lot of hand-waving nonsense to try and make the penultimate issue rise above the garbage, the previous issues. What do you reckon, Eric? Final thoughts. It's an improvement over the past several issues when Syra becomes a focal character who undergoes a significant journey of growth. Mm-hmm. That said, Joe Kelly's highbrow explanation of life and love comes off a little bit philosophical hand-waving. File this one under too little too late. So that's quite positive for Gabe. 5.8 out of 10.
5.8. That's fine. I mean, yeah. Holy shh. Ooh, you got a little sus in here.
Oh my goodness. Speak of sus, we summon them up. What's going on?
Yo. Oh my goodness. I heard that. I was listening to some of your music today. Wow. Your beep is too small.
How you doing, Jim? Good to see you.
Oh, and the balloon knots. I haven't heard that song in forever, man. Wow.
ASM cash grab, says Dwayne, summing it up.
Exactly.
Oh my God, it's perfect, isn't it? Perfect timing because you're just
everyone
out
there. Click on that little icon on Sus Records and subscribe. You'll do yourself a favor if you like comedy and humor and music. Well, you'll get this in spades. And it's great. Jim from Weird Science does. He makes these very authentic genre sounds of different epochs and different eras: 50s, 60s, 90s country. You know what I mean? So just he's having a good time with this. I feel like crap. You smell like it too.
Good to see Low Spec as well. Low Spec Linux.
Hey,
good to
Low
see
Spec.
you, man. He's just messaging to DJ Ronnie G, doing a music stream on Rumble tonight before the KOTOR2 stream
Knights
on Rumble.
of the Old Republic, my friend. That is
Thank
actually
you.
some fucking seriously good Star Wars. It's pre-Disney. It is 4,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, and this is the area of Darth Revan. This is his era.
Okay.
And it's during lockdown, I would watch these 8-hour long. There's several of them 8-hour long cutscenes of this game and just the story it puts down.
I've seen some of them.
Man.
Yeah. Not 8 hours, but
It's so good, man. I couldn't get enough of it. I caught up on years, and especially with Disney, being mediocre stories. This is like great old fashioned.
This is really good. Yeah, good Star Wars. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice one. Don't shout those out. Jim's saying he's in the middle of writing a theme song for Gabe for this week's podcast.
Nice.
Brilliant.
There you go, Jim.
There you go, Jim. Eric picked up the physical copy this week. So, Eric, before we wrap things up, let's have a look at what's coming out. There's some big releases, baby, next week. There's 2 Absolutes. A new Absolute Flash issue 1 comes out, which a lot of people are talking about so far, and Absolute Batman. Are you excited?
No. Well, and I don't mean that negatively. I just, I like Jeff Lemire's books, but I like it better when he draws them because he's got an amazing style. I really liked Fish Flies a lot. Fish Flies on Image. It just released in a beautiful hardcover edition, a new release day this week.
Yeah, I think Fame on it was talking about it in the Slack chat. Yeah,
it's like Fish Flies is a comic book lover's comic book. It's that kind of, it's sequential art. It's good storytelling. It's great pacing. It's mood. It's atmosphere, and it's macabre. It's horror, and I mean I love it. Yeah, Jeff Lemire is best when he's all in one. Now when he does. What was he doing recently that I'm just not sold on?
I get mixed up with the writers. Was it Jeff Lemire who was doing Black Hammer? No, was that Rick Remender?
Oh shit! I don't know.
I'm lost.
Oh.
Hey, we've got Weird Science Comments in the chat as well. I'm joining in as well to increase the stats. That's a Sully sus take.
It could be. I'm full
what he's talking about. Which one?
Absolute Batman and Flash are pretty damn good, he says. That's cool.
He was like I was a straight man then for setting up the joke. So, Eric, are you looking forward to Absolute Flash and Batman? And here's the answer. No. Well, I am. I'm enjoying Absolute Batman. I agree with Scott Snyder, the writer himself, who says that every issue is the greatest issue yet. Wait till you see it, guys. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. He's pimping, though. I really appreciate that.
That's right. Jeff Lemire's writing JSA at the moment, and it's
that's it. Yeah, and
it's a bit all over the place. I'm not sold on it myself.
Yeah, I'm not. And I missed his Swamp Thing in the New 52. Was that his New 52?
I think he did. Didn't he?
Was that Scott Snyder?
No, that's Scott Snyder.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I like Lemire's art. I'm weird. I'm sus.
So come on, Eric. We've got Absolute Batman, Detective Comics, Saga. Do you read Saga at all?
No, I don't. No. World's Finest. No. Well, I was enjoying
Ultimate X-Men. Woohoo!
Exactly. It's in 14
Especially for you.
Of no heroic men. But hey, yay girls at the expense of boys. That's all I get out of New Gods. Yes, please sign me up. That's
okay. Yeah, the last issue was a bit of not a hit for me, a bit of a miss, but the first 2 I really enjoyed. New Gods 1 and 2.
Because I got you got Lansing, you got Kelly, you got you got Dennis Camp, you got all these people that rip off Grant Morrison and Warren.
He did Animal Man, Jeff Lemire. Thanks, Phil Monic.
That's
right.
It. Yes,
he did the New 52 Animal Man.
And I heard that was special. I heard that was pretty good. So so you have all these people trying to retread Grant Morrison's tires, but then you have what I feel. I mean, Ram V. He's bringing his own set of wheels, and he's this fountain of story, and he's so in touch with mythology and world building and myth crafting.
And
Such
conditioner.
He's from India, and he lives in London. So
Got a great head of hair.
He's got a great head of hair. He's gonna be at Dallas Fan Expo. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Okay. Nice one. Are you going to get something signed?
I don't know.
Are you into that at all, Eric, or not? Does it depend if it's the artist
I'm
or
into the moment? I'll get to get a selfie and just to say, hey man, how you doing? Thank you for all the great stories. I really liked his tech, and people really don't, but I do.
I enjoyed quite a lot of that. Yeah, so surprisingly, me too. Yeah,
Rare Flavors was just an amazing. That was a comic book. I mean,
was that good? Yeah.
Oh God, the color palette and that was
the art was cool. I remember
nice.
That about it.
The Felipe Andrade art is great, and plus I'm a chef. I'm a professional chef, so every issue had something to do with food.
Ooh,
and recipes. Yeah, it was, and it was intricate, Rare Flavors. Yeah, and it was a really good book.
Fearmonic saying, "Darling Eric, take my little stars with me to get signed."
That sounds like a good idea. I might bring. Oh, maybe I'll bring one of my Rare Flavors. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. But, One World Under Doom issue 2. Issue 1 was okay.
I love the issue. Issue 1 was okay. Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, it was good. Yeah, it was good. Ultimate Black Panther, Jim, just to let you know, Eric's enjoying it and he recommends it as possibly the best of the Ultimate titles. The most consistent, anyway.
Takes,
Yeah.
Jim and I talk about the comics every week. I share all my inner thoughts.
Okay, nice.
Well, we got G.I. Joe number 5 coming out, and that's Energon G.I. Joe. And there you have Destro in front of some Energon,
Oh, Destro.
This is it's really interesting because we've already had a major character die in the first issue.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. One of your saying, I'm not going to be sarcastic. Sorry, it's one of my favorites, but I know you're not reading it. Batman and Robin Year 1 issue 6 comes out. I'm loving that.
The art is beautiful,
mainly for the sound. Yeah, the Samney art, Eric, it's fantastic.
I love a Robin that looks like Robin. The more hyper realized you get, the more. Like the Tim Drake outfit was great because now but I mean short pants and pixie boots. That's Robin.
Yeah, that's what I grew up reading that Robin. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I know it's not real. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a kid, but so take something such as World's Finest. At least you have evidence of the youngest kind of Robin you can get. He looks to be between 8 and 10 years old, and then. By the time he's 15, he's in pants and in a more armored look to his, outfit.
Okay, Eric, I've got a couple of messages for you from Jim. First on, Sully needs to read Food Wars manga. You think you'll appreciate that? And by the way, Sully, we may do our show tomorrow live on the YouTubes.
Good, fine for me, man. 10 a.m.
Sounds
US
good.
Eastern
Sounds
tomorrow.
Good.
Come on by.
I'll try and watch it. If I'm not at work, I will watch it live, of course. Depending on the time. Philmonic, I named my cat after Ruben from Rare Flavors. He's a glutton who eats anything not nailed down.
That's a great, I mean, Rare Flavors was just was magic for me, man. It just made me feel good to be a comic book fan.
Good.
The medium, like like I said, this is a comic book. I really love that book.
Zatanna issue 2 is coming out.
No, thank
Magic
you.
issue 3.
I'm not into Jamal Campbell, and he's also writing this one too. But Jamal Campbell's got some really great, fine line art.
I liked his Superman work, earlier when it started.
But then it gets because everything looks like it was drawn on a tablet. So
I can see that.
I mean, and then there's so many digital effects, and there's so many it gets lost. Your fine artwork gets lost in this morass of digital enhancements. KISS, keep it simple, Sully.
Oh, just caught my eye down here. I don't believe it. Superman, The Last Days of Lex Luthor, issue 2 comes out. It's about 2 years, isn't it, since issue 1 came out? Let me check.
Mark Waid's writing this? Oh, jeez.
Issue 1 came out July 25th, 2023. I'm not joking. Issue 2, March 19th, 2025. It's 2 years almost. Jeez. That is crazy, Eric, isn't it? That is bananas.
That's
anyway.
awful.
Just
What
made
else
me
do we
laugh.
got? We got
What else have we got?
Here's something for all you Walking Dead fans. Walking Dead Deluxe is actually really good.
It's really good.
It's
Jim's
just,
got me into that.
I every issue of that I read, I'm just I signed off of Walking Dead around the Whisper War, if you know your Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I came back for the finale.
I came back for the finale too.
I love that last issue. That was really good. What a way to land the plane. And but catching up with this old friend again. I started reading this about issue 99. Then we get the issue 100 reveal, first appearance of Negan, and the cruel fate of Glenn. And I was just like, in color. And I'm like, oh my.
Yeah, what do you think of that, by the way, that now it's been coloured? Do you
It's
prefer the
really
original
good.
black and white? Or
No, I like them both. I mean, but seeing it in color, right? It's like this is like a really good rerun.
Yeah.
And Jim mentioned it to me last week too. He was like, "Oh yeah," and then the little bites at the end of it. So you have this like Chris Eliopoulos kind of style of like a funny book of at the end of it. It's called Little Bites, and this is new content. These are new comics.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's really funny, isn't it? It's got a really distinctive art style. I like it.
Yeah.
So good, says Jim. So good.
Yeah, that's got a
Okay.
young kind of vibe to it,
So issue 109 comes out. We've got Bug Wars issue 2. I quite enjoyed the first issue of that.
Mm-hmm. Now that dared Sacrificers. Yeah, so I'm seeing at least 3 things on my pull list.
Oh, yes.
Sacrificers is still amazing.
Nice one, Eric. Conan the Barbarian, new issues out.
Daredevil Unleash Hell. It doesn't suck. It's actually okay.
Ooh, okay, you heard it here first, folks. Is it
me
a
and my
Sully
Red-
take?
The Sully take, especially on Red Band stuff, because it's all my fault. But it's.
Oh, wait a minute. Who's writing that? Let's just check. Is that
Erica Schultz?
Erica Schultz? I quite like some of her stuff.
The art in this is pretty tight, and this is and it's Elektra Daredevil against Muse.
They made a female version of Muse, or was she always female?
I'm not sure. Maybe
I thought it was a guy.
The host here is female, so the host is an down on her luck artist, and so Muse has taken over this body, and but
it's a weird cover.
Body horror in this it's using Red Band to its strength of being over the top, gruesome and grotesque. Because Muse is an artist and uses blood on her canvas and uses body parts to stitch together these horrific.
Goodness gracious! Really?
It's a great cover. Wow, look at you.
Yeah, it is, by the way, isn't it? Wow. Oh, a Peach Momoko variant.
Peach Momoko variant.
Don't tell Fairmonic. He'll be buying it.
I'm a sucker for a Peach Momoko variant cover. Ask Yule Carter. He sold me plenty.
That's pretty awesome, actually. It's almost got like a Rorschach look to it. Horror. Yeah, that's my favorite cover. Wow,
that's great.
Okay, so a recommendation from Eric. Surprisingly, it doesn't suck.
Yeah,
it doesn't suck.
I like it better than Ultimate X-Men. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you like everything better than that, don't you?
Sam Wilson, Captain America #3, and you know what? This is getting the legacy number, which I think is interesting. This is carrying on. If you click on that, we're going to see the legacy number in the corner.
Let's have a look. Where
so it's carrying on the legacy number of Captain America from
Legacy 769. Dudes. Don't like that cover. Sorry. Pretty boring. Pretty bland. Let's have a look at the variant. There we go. Steven Segovia. Like his art. That's pretty good. Just want catching with the comments here. Fame on it, yeah. I'm getting like 3 Battle Beast variants. That's gonna be wild. Sacrifice is goated. It better get a deluxe edition when it's done. Love Sacrifices. It's one of my favorite indies out right now. Yeah. Okay, let's get back. Jim just laughing
get back, Loretta. Mom's
waiting for you,
baby. Wearing a low cut sweater and high heel shoes.
I'm not sure if I've missed anything massive. Oh, the Power Fantasy issue 7. I think Fear Monarch's a fan of that, or maybe Dwayne Muth as well was talking about it.
I need to catch Carnage. Okay, the first issue surprised me. It was wicked decent, and it had a lot of gore. It had because it's interesting. Some of these normal comics are more gorier than these Red Band comics that are like the last issue of Blade, issue 5, which wrapped up the series. It was so lame, and there was only one borderline gross panel. And then you get something such as Eddie Brock Carnage or even Helverine that it does a much better, does a much better job at this.
Jack be lucky talking about the Deadly Tales of Gunslinger Spawn. Some of the covers, the variants are homages to old westerns. That sounds cool, man.
And Jimmy Palmiotti's writing that, right?
Jim's always brings up the letters page name for Sacrifices.
He named it.
He might have had something to do with that. Look at Jim getting in with old Rick Remender. Yeah, I've got to say, I do like this cover, by the way, Eric. This cover's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it's weird. I like it. I like it.
It's an interesting team up. Oh, that's not Peach, is it?
Aereo. I know it looks a bit like it, doesn't it?
A little
Anindito. I don't know. Okay. I don't think I've missed anything major from next week, but I've got to say, Absolute Batman, Absolute Flash. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to those. Big time, and of course, Sacrifices.
Lock number 5, getting in my list of Wong for the week.
Conan the Barbarian.
Now, people are raving about Cable loving Chrome. I'm F you, David P. Post. F you.
What are you getting angry about?
I'm not.
To fix their hearts or die.
Damn, David, come on.
It's a very brief clip I've got.
I love David Lynch. I love how he's very Hitchcockian. He would put a cameo of himself in every one of his movies.
I miss him. Savage Dragon, Eric. Savage Dragon issue 276.
That's on my poll list. Do I get 4 on my poll list this week?
Dwayne's a big fan of this, and he's got me into reading it. I'm actually reading it now.
This is a don't take this comic book seriously, which is rule number 1. Number 2 is it's okay to have adult ribald humor in adult ribald comics. I'm all for that. Like people like to just like, oh yeah, Maxine Dragon. She's this petite Asian woman, but she's a grown woman, and she's a wife, and she's a mother, but she's also a nymphomaniac, a literal nymphomaniac, which is not actually. It's not as cool as it sounds. She's like, and it's just like I think there's something to Maxine where it's like. Is it about the objectification of Asian anime girls? Is it about like there's something to it? She's got many layers, and I'm just like getting to know her, and then
same here. As I say, thanks to Dwayne. There he is. Have fun, Dragon. Yeah, it is. I like the way that Eric Larson just doesn't give a crap. He's just putting out what he wants to put out, and I think it's been doing very well. Well, it's got a real loyal fan base, hasn't it?
I love his art. I love his sense of humor. I love it. His art right now looks something between like Howard Chaykin and old Frank Miller. Yeah. You know what I mean? I really dig it. There's something about this book that makes me want more. And it's
like classic. Look at this. This is the next issue, the following one. Look at that. That's a great cover.
A great cover.
That's awesome. Okay.
For the love of comics. For the love of comics.
For the love of comics, shall we wrap things up? Well, I thank you so much for coming on, Eric. Before we do, I want to know, will you be doing your live stream this weekend?
Tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Come on by for the Super Sully Sunday stream.
Yes.
Where we also make America grateful again. Which is like this is an interesting play on the notorious Red Hat. I chose green instead.
I missed your live stream last week. For me, it's like I wake up on Monday morning, 6 a.m. It's usually about an hour into your show, so I catch the end of your show.
I didn't have a stream last week. I was feeling a little under the weather, but also I had nothing on my poll list last week, so I didn't have any new comics to show. Okay. And so you know what? Don't fake it. Don't ever fake it. Just like if you need a week off, take a week off. I mean, the algorithm is unforgiving, but screw that. I mean, that's not what I'm in this for. I mean, I'm in this to talk about comics with the people that tune in this community of ours. And I wasn't feeling well, so I just wasn't feeling it. And I had no new comics. Don't fake it. Don't fake the funk on the dunk.
I'm the same, mate. I've not done a live stream for a couple of weeks. I've been busy with work and stuff and bits and bobs and things. But sometimes you just don't feel like it. It's like I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break, Eric. Who cares?
It's just like, this shouldn't be a chore. This is our hobby, and it's a hobby about our hobby.
It's meant to be fun.
It is, and it's supposed to be fun. And I'm blessed and grateful that we have, we've all come together for this.
There you
do
are.
a gratitude show usually every morning. I also have, my comic book show. I also do. There's a playlist for the cooking stuff.
Do bunnies? I like your bunnies. Come on,
bunnies in the morning. Yeah.
Cooking videos, looking good. Yeah. So okay, looking forward to that. Good to hear that you'll be doing that. For me, it's tomorrow morning, but yeah, Sunday. Hobbyception, Pheromonic. Okay.
Well, cool beans. Oh, wow. We went an hour and a half.
I can't believe it. I was only supposed to go for an hour.
No. And we're going to do this again. So don't worry, people out there. We're going to have, hopefully make this a semi-regular thing,
Yes.
And
I do hope so.
And one thing I want to do is nail you down, or eventually we're going to do a Blade Runner show. Because you haven't done your Blade Runner issue number 3 yet. You have your first 2. You left us hanging.
And left you hanging. But did I? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, go back and look at your. You have 2 Blade Runner, amazing Blade Runner, introspections, and fucking Jim.
What's he doing while we're missing?
Sully wants to nail Gray.
You what? You what?
Dive! This is Brian Blessed.
Dive, he says, dive. Flash Gordon's alive.
But I suggest a volume 0 so we can talk about it.
Sounds good to me. Well, again, thanks a million, Eric. I'm going to play us out with a bit of Jim's Doom Patrol song just for a laugh. It's been great having you on. I hope you have a wonderful St. Paddy's Day tomorrow, or the early parade. And let's catch up soon, talking more comics.
We will.
Here we go. Am I sharing this? Yeah.
It's time for us to start, so let's get in control. I'm here with Gray to talk some Doom Patrol. We'll try to have fun if we can. Talking about Elastigirl, Crazy Jane, and Robot Man. Telling you to read Morrison, it's really a lot of fun. And now it's all begun.
Fantastic finish.
What's that?